Hello. Hello, everybody. We're here for our first wellness workshop. I'm going to give it a minute or so and see if we get anybody on here, but if not, we'll get started momentarily. All right, it's 6:31, so I am going to go ahead and get started. And whether you join us live or you join us on recording on YouTube or on social media, however you join us, welcome. My name is Dr. Hailey Axberg, and my husband, Dr. Ryan Hyde, and I are the chiropractors and owners at Glacier Family Chiropractic and Wellness. So we own a preventative chiropractic clinic in downtown Columbia Falls on Nucleus Avenue, and this is our first official weekly wellness workshop. So you can join us every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. We'll have a new topic every week. And this topic in particular is all about nervous system regulation. Um, both my husband and I, Dr. Ryan, we are on a mission to empower our community members to thrive through health and wellness education. And we not only want you to receive education when you join us with these workshops, but we also want you to take action on the things that you learn. One of our favorite quotes, we actually have it posted on one of the walls in our office. It's from the founder of chiropractic. And he says, the preservation of health is easier than the cure for disease. So that's why we're here. And as I had mentioned, our topic today is regulate your nervous system, regulate your life. And this is a personal topic that's really near and dear to me, not just because I'm a chiropractor and I work with the nervous system, but because of my own journey with nervous system healing in general. So, um, prior to chiropractic care in my life, I dealt with a lot of anxiety and stress, sometimes depression. Um, on a pretty regular basis. I would say this lasted in high school, this was in college, and I didn't really understand what was going on at the time. I didn't understand what it meant to take care of my body, to take care of my mind. And needless to say, I was struggling in that arena. I went to my medical doctor at the time and told him about the issues that I was struggling with. And after listening to me speaking, without doing any testing or asking any further questions, they just simply told me that I had a chemical imbalance in my brain and I needed a medication for it. And I trusted what they had to say. So I took their recommendations with the medication, and nothing against medication. There's absolutely a time and a place for it, but it was not the right fit for me. For me, I felt like it made a lot of my symptoms worse. It made me feel worse. And I just wasn't satisfied with it. Around the same time, I had a friend who was going to chiropractic school that was sick of listening to me complain about my headaches and my low back pain. And they convinced me to not only go to a chiropractor, but go to a chiropractic routinely. Go to this particular chiropractor, do their examination process, listen to what they have to say, and take their advice when it came to care. So I did that. And I was not just mind blown with the physical benefits of care, feeling better, no headaches, back pain, all of that kind of stuff, the stuff that typically brings somebody to a chiropractor. But what also really blew my mind was the kind of conversations this particular doctor asked me. So, although I had spoken to several practitioners about the anxiety and the depression and the stress I was dealing with, nobody ever asked me about my lifestyle. Nobody ever asked me if I was exercising, how I was eating, what I was eating, if I was eating enough or too much, how my personal stress levels were, how my relationships were. Nobody was talking to me about what it actually meant to be healthy. So as soon as those conversations came into play and I started looking at things a little bit closer and embracing some of these lifestyle changes, I was mind blown with how much that helped me feel better and function better on a daily basis. Not that I don't ever deal with anxiety, but I never deal with depression now. I manage my anxiety a lot better, and just like any healing journey, mine is no different. I am continuously on my own healing journey, but healing the nervous system is really at the root of my healing journey, and then also what we're going to discuss tonight. So in order to understand how to take care of our nervous system, we first need to understand what exactly our nervous system is. And if you're a patient of ours, or maybe you followed us on social media for a while, you've seen us throw around the word nervous system quite a bit. When we are talking about your nervous system, we are talking about the master controller of your body. We're talking about your brain, your spinal cord, and all of the nerves that come off your spinal cord and go into your body. We call your nervous system the master controller of your body, because nothing in your body could function without electrical impulses from the nervous system. So doesn't it make sense that we must take care of that one system that takes care of everything else within the body? I would say so, and that's why we're here tonight. So first, we're just going to start with a series of some practical tips. Number one I have on here, and one of the first things we talk about with all of our patients, is prioritizing quality sleep and quality rest. I actually have an article here. This is a research article from the National Lung, Heart, and Brain Institute. And they stated that during sleep, your body is working to support healthy brain function and maintaining your physical health. In children and teens, sleep also supports growth and development. Getting inadequate sleep over time can raise your risk for chronic long-term health problems. Not to mention, if you don't get enough sleep, you're cranky, you're grumpy, you're less present with the things you're doing. But also, when understanding the nervous system and understanding that we have a fight or flight response, that sympathetic nervous system that a lot of us spend a good portion of our lives in, and then also understanding that we have our body's rest and digest parasympathetic response, and that's your body's healing response. So when you go to sleep, you're engaging your parasympathetic nervous system and your body literally heals. So if you struggle with getting good sleep at night, reach out to us, or if you're not in our area, reach out to your local chiropractor and see what kind of things you can implement to get better sleep quality. We'll have a workshop on that eventually too. Another one we got listed here. So honoring your body's natural circadian rhythms and going to bed and waking up at a consistent time. Hi, Cassie. Glad you caught this live too. But honoring your body's natural rhythms. So this one can be tricky. This is one I struggle with a little bit myself, but I'm getting a lot better with, and that is waking up at routine times and going to bed at routine times. So I'm not a stickler, so I don't go to bed at 9:30 every single night and wake up at 6:30 every single morning. But generally speaking, I wake up around the same times, and sometimes you do need to take the extra rest. If you haven't been getting good quality of sleep, if you've been extra stressed out, maybe you've been sick, your immune system has been working hard, you need some extra sleep, and that's okay to do so. I do want to make a special note. If you are parents with young children, give yourself grace, because sleep schedules really are out of your control at this point, but it won't be that way forever. So do the best you can. In addition to prioritizing sleep and rest and good, healthy bodily rhythms, you really want to limit your technology time, especially first thing in the morning and right before bed in the evening. Technology in general is just really stimulating. We literally have the world's information at our fingertips, and it can be really overwhelming. If you're scrolling on TikTok or Facebook or Instagram or whatever it is, you're constantly being fed new information, and it's very overwhelming. No human in history ever has had to deal with the amount of stimulation we have coming from technology. If you must use technology, though, we really encourage the use of blue light blocking glasses. Dr. Ryan actually has built-in blue light filters in his prescription glasses. You can get blue light glasses without a prescription really inexpensively online or at a local store. Another really good tip to limit your blue light exposure is if you're an iPhone user, I'm sure other phones have a setting for this as well, but if you're an iPhone user, there is a night shift setting under your display and brightness in your settings. And that filters out your harsh blue light. So on my phone in the winter, I have it set right now for that night shift mode from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. And what that does is that filters out the blue light of your phones, makes it a more warm tone so it doesn't stimulate your brain the same way the blue light does. Next one here is one of my favorites, and if you live in Montana, probably something you really value as well, and that is spending time unplugged and outdoors and doing so regularly. So Cassie, I know you're on here, and you and Mike do a really good job at that. This is something, I'll be honest, it's a lot easier for me to get outside and ground myself in the winter, but we're working on it this year. But getting outside in general is amazing from your health. I have a couple of different research articles cited here from the American Psychological Association. The first one was a study performed on adults, and it says, in review of the research, a professor at the University of Washington and his colleagues shared evidence that contact with nature is associated with increases in happiness, subjective well-being, positive affect, positive social interactions, and a sense of meaning and purpose in life, as well as decreases in mental distress. I don't know about you, but that sounds fabulous. It's fun being outside anyways. It's beautiful and overall beneficial for your brain. There's also a study here. Hi, Debbie. I see you on there as well. There is another research article that is about kids, and it says, other work suggests that when children get outside, it leaves a lasting impression. In a study of residents in Denmark, researchers used data to assess people's exposure to green space from birth to age 10. And when they compared with longitudinal data on individual mental health outcomes, the researchers examined data from more than 900,000 residents that were born from 1985 to 2003. And what they found was that children who lived in neighborhoods with more green space had a reduced risk of many psychiatric disorders later in life, including depression, that one I mentioned earlier, mood disorders, schizophrenia, eating disorders, and substance use disorders. For those with the lowest levels of green space exposure during childhood, the risk of developing mental illness was 55% higher than for those who grew up with abundant green space. So long story short, being outside is beneficial for adults, it's beneficial for children, and we really need to prioritize it more because not only does it affect our mental and emotional health, but it affects our physical and social well-being too. Hi, Fallon. All right. Next up here is one that we talk about probably with 90% of our patients on a daily basis, and that is prioritizing intentionally moving your body. So intentionally moving your body is one of the best things you could do for your nervous system. As we've discussed, anything that you do that's beneficial for your nervous system is beneficial for your body and your physical and mental well-being too. Intentionally moving your body, some of my favorites are walking, yoga, strength training, Pilates, getting outside. You can double up here and get your time outside and also get exercise. So some of our favorites are hiking, kayaking, cross-country skiing, downhill skiing, snowboarding, just any physical activity outside. For elderly, some of our most common recommendations too are chair yoga. Walking, you got to make sure you're extra safe in the winter. We don't want to risk any falls on the ice. So things like yak tracks can be really good, or just avoiding icy sidewalks. For the elderly, light resistance training is amazing too. So lighter weights, resistance bands, and water aerobics. So no matter who you are, finding a way that you can honorably move your body in a way that you enjoy is key for overall health. Next topic. This was probably one of the most mind-blowing things for me when I really began my health and wellness journey and really started to dive into health and human sciences in college. I was shocked to learn the effect that food has on your mental and physical well-being. Sounds like it'd be kind of common sense, but never in grade school did we ever take time to talk about nutrition, at least not in my experience. But it makes sense that what you put in your body is what your body is made of. So in order to honor your nervous system and honor your overall health, you really want to focus on minimizing processed foods. Processed foods are filled with a bunch of chemicals and ingredients that we're not even designed to be eating. There can be a lot of unnecessary additives like food dyes, preservatives, added sugars. Sugar is something that can be really toxic to your nervous system if you're consuming too much of it. And you really want to focus on eating a diet full of quality whole foods. Eating healthy does not have to be complicated. Sticking to quality lean meats, eggs, fruits, vegetables. If you are consuming grains, making sure you're consuming high quality, good whole grains. But a lot of people could benefit from cutting gluten, but that's a different topic for a different day. Beans, nuts, really keeping it simple when it comes to food is key. A general rule of thumb I've heard that I like is sticking to the outer part of the grocery store and avoiding the middle aisles, because generally speaking, those middle aisles tend to have a lot more of the processed foods, and the outside walls have our produce, deli, all of that sort of thing. In addition to moving your body, making sure you're eating well, prioritizing rest and sleep. In order to have a healthy nervous system, you need to feel safe, you need to feel comfortable, and you got to have good energy around you. So if you have relationships, or maybe you're involved in particular roles that really stress you out or really drain your energy, that is not going to support a healthy nervous system. So sometimes we need to take a step back and reevaluate those relationships or reevaluate those roles and ask ourselves if it's really worth it. Why do you continue to show up with these people or at these places that drain you of the limited energy that you have? So something to consider if you're wanting to take care of your nervous system. Another one we got here. Hope you guys have a notebook because I got a long list for you. I told you we're trying to get some good information out, but if you are feeling really anxious or you're really feeling your body in that fight or flight state, you're feeling your mind racing, you're feeling your heart pounding, one tool you always have available to you that you don't need anybody for is your breath. So a quicker, more shallow, a rapid breath rate is associated with that sympathetic nervous system tone, that fight or flight response. So if you're feeling your body in that stress state and you want to regulate your nervous system, you want to tone things down a little bit, you want to focus on slowing your breath. So you don't have to get really fancy with it. I'll walk you through a little demonstration here in just a moment. For those that don't know, I also teach yoga, and breath work is a huge part of yoga. So a general practice I have is when we first start that class and we're trying to disengage that stress mode, we begin to slow the breath down. So we start by first just taking an observation of our breath and how it's moving. And then after we've made that observation, we'll close our eyes. We'll take a really, really big, slow breath in through the nose. Take a gentle pause, and then an even slower exhale out. Now, for time's sake, I'm not going to keep going through that, but you can follow that same rhythm for as long as you need to, and I guarantee that even if it makes you feel 5% better, it will make an impact on the way your nervous system is feeling in that moment. It's a great way to help connect yourself to the present moment. Okay, we got just a couple more on this list. For those that are just joining in, we're talking all about nervous system regulation, and this one is a supplement. So with supplements, I don't love to recommend them willy-nilly. I think there are a lot of supplements you really should get tested for. Get tested, whether it's your vitamin or mineral levels, or at least have a more in-depth conversation with your own practitioner, chiropractor, doctor, whoever it is. Have a conversation about whether or not that supplement is safe for you. If you're taking a good quality supplement, that's a whole other topic we could really dive into. But this particular supplement is one that I feel confident recommending to most people. And most Americans need this particular mineral because stress depletes this mineral. Caffeine depletes this mineral, alcohol, fried foods. Essentially, the American lifestyle depletes this mineral, and that is magnesium. So I would say the form of magnesium we recommend the most is magnesium glycinate. It's an excellent form of magnesium that is well absorbed by the body, and it helps physically and mentally calm the body and calm the nervous system. We utilize it ourselves. If you have any questions about magnesium in particular, feel free to reach out or again, consult your own practitioner. But last but not least, I'm a chiropractor. Chiropractors work with the nervous system, so you have to know that this topic is going to come up as well. When discussing nervous system regulation, we really should give chiropractic care a chance. Most people just understand chiropractic care for pain management, and we are really good at pain management, and we feel really confident that we can help most people with their pain levels. But that is not the ultimate goal of the work that we do. Because we're working with the spine, and because the spine has a direct relationship with the central nervous system, getting checked by your chiropractor and getting adjusted has an effect on the nervous system and how it functions. In particular, the way we practice at our office, because just like medical doctors or nurse practitioners or nurses, not all chiropractors practice the same way. But in our office at Glacier Family Chiropractic and Wellness, we practice a whole body nervous system focused approach towards care. When you first book a new patient appointment with us and you have that new patient examination, we have a lot of discussion and evaluation around the spine and around the nervous system. And the way we're looking at that nervous system is from a functional perspective. So ultimately, the way that your nervous system is coping with stress is the way that your body is dealing with stress. So individuals that can benefit from chiropractic care, whose nervous systems can benefit from chiropractic, aren't just people dealing with back pain or headaches or migraines or whatever, but also people that aren't sleeping well, people that have poor immune system function, people that are having digestive issues, people that are experiencing brain fog or are overall not feeling well. There's a good chance that if we do an evaluation, we're going to find that your nervous system is under stress. It's important that you not only get checked and evaluated by your chiropractor for that, because they can directly address that stress where it's coming from at the spine, but it's also really important that you do the work outside of just showing up for your adjustments to support a healthy nervous system. So the things we discussed today, just to kind of sum it all up, because I know it was a big list, but we talked about prioritizing quality sleep and rest, honoring your body's circadian rhythm and finding routine in your wake times and your bed times, limiting your tech time, especially first thing in the morning, especially for stress reasons, and then in the evening, not wanting to expose yourself to a ton of tech just because it's a lot of stimulation. Spending time unplugged, so out of Wi-Fi service, off of your cell phone and in nature, and doing so regularly. We discussed prioritizing intentionally moving your body in whatever way feels good to you, prioritizing good quality foods, reevaluating relationships or roles you are in that are no longer serving you, breath work, magnesium, all sorts of good things, and chiropractic. If you're local to the area and you have questions about chiropractic care, whether you're wanting to get screened or booked a new patient appointment, reach out to us. But even if you aren't in our area and you see this video, whether on live or recorded, and you want to get in touch with a good nervous system focused chiropractor in your area, please let us know, because we would love to help you. If you are local, though, we have a great opportunity coming up this Monday. We're having our first official Patient Appreciation Day. So this is something that is open to the public, whether you're an existing patient, a new patient, not a patient at all, have no interest in chiropractic. We would love to meet you. We'll have snacks, drinks. We're going to be doing a giveaway for a massage gun, and we will also have a new patient special rate that day. So typically our new patient exam is $130, but on Monday we will be doing new patient exams for $49. So several of those spots are filled. We've only got a couple left, so if that's something that interests you, please reach out. In addition to this special day we have coming up soon, we will be here every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Myself and Dr. Ryan will be alternating and talking about all sorts of different topics that are health and wellness related. So if you have any requests, please let us know. We're doing this for you guys. We want to make sure you are receiving information that is valuable to you. So thank you to everybody who got on tonight. We'll be uploading this to YouTube soon. And next week, we will be talking about some really important principles to understand when it comes to health and healing and the nervous system. So hope to see you guys there next week. Bye, guys.